They want an argument with you. They're looking for a moment where they can trigger you. You're never going to get an apology. But you're saying many times, I'm overreacting. I'm going crazy here. No. There's a lot of us out there that are struggling silently with no one to talk to. This is the most important thing I think I can say in this whole video. Do not see I'm 35 and I've figured out how to argue with a narcissistic parent. This is my story from triggers, the guilt, the confusion, the gaslighting, just a mixture of everything. And I figured it out, what it is you really need to do in the situation. Now, if you've clicked this video, it may be relatable to you already. When I say the guilt, the confusion, the gaslighting, why are they trying to trigger you into an argument? Well, you've clicked the right video. This is for you. And, if that rings any bells already, then this is going to be something that you're going to probably relate to my story about. So I don't even know where to start with this, to be honest, but let's just start with arguments, I guess. The narcissist wants to trigger you. Their whole purpose is to find every weak point in you. They want to find a weak point in you and they want to exploit it. Then they want to confuse you. Then they want to make you feel guilt. And they want to expose some craziness in you. No, stay with me now. So I realized this. I realized that you're never going to win an argument with a narcissist. And if you're trying to win an argument with a narcissist, you've already lost. You have already lost. If you are trying to prove your point, trying to justify, get it. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. So let me start, I'll just be there, right? If you don't know, look at my other videos where I'm a very narcissistic mother. And, I know she's quite an emotionally not stable person in the sense of I never know what day I'm waking up to. Okay, so let's just start there. That feeling in the morning, you open your eyes and you wake up. This is me. And you wake up just dreading the day. When you're living with a narcissistic parent, or it could be another form, but I just know my experience with a narcissistic parent. It's that feeling of opening your eyes, the alarm or whatever. You don't even need an alarm. You'll just hear, for me, I just heard slamming of doors. I heard her arguing with the bill people downstairs. I heard her shouting at a neighbor or something. And I'm talking like a crazy hour, could be 5 o'clock in the morning, could be 6 o'clock in the morning, or, another time. But it's just, when you wake up and the first thing you hear is slam, slam. It is so triggering to your soul to wake up like that. You just know what the day is going to be. You just know it already. Or you wake up and you don't quite know what the day is going to be until you walk downstairs or until you're in front of that person and you pick up the vibe but before I got to that stage of understanding and picking up the vibe of that person, that narcissist, I went for a stage where I thought, okay, you want to argue with me? I'll argue back with you. Okay? I'll argue back. Oh dear. How much I needed to learn at that point. Just that's the worst move. If you're in a situation where you're with a narcissist and you're arguing, please do yourself a favor. Never, ever, ever engage in an argument with a narcissist. You will always lose. There's me though thinking, no. I need to justify my point. I need to show this person that I can stand up for myself, and they need to know that this is crazy. This behavior is not normal. They need to know this. And I am not going to back down. So I would engage in arguments when I wasn't aware too much of learning about this stuff, I would engage in arguments. I would even go to the point where I would actually raise my voice like my narcissistic mother. I was behaving like her. I was mirroring her, you know? And when you're you're living with someone that's like that, you will start picking up their habits, whether you like it or not. So I would think, right, I need to raise my voice. I need to do this so she understands how serious I am, and she'll understand that I mean business, because if I'm raising my voice, that means I'm really mad, and then she'll understand. Like, I need to prove to her these points. I need to justify, and I need to explain to her this behavior is not right. And so I would get irate. I would argue. I would get loud. I would just try and justify those points. I would say, I'm not crazy. You're the crazy one. Because I know I'm a human being. I'm not going to back down. I'm a human being. I need to know. She needs to know that this is not normal. She needs to know. They need to know. Do you have anyone relating with me here? Like, you just can't hold it in. Like, you have those weak moments and you're just like, no, I am going to argue back. And I'm going to, because they need to know this is not wrong. And I'm not the crazy one. You're the crazy one. Not me. And they need to be told, because no one else is going to tell them. So I'll tell them. If this relates, this is just the wrong way. The absolute worst way. Because this is their sweet spot. They've won. This is what they wanted from me. This is what they wanted from you. Okay, if you understand what I'm talking about, this is what they want. They want an argument with you. They're looking for it every point of the day. They're looking for a moment that they can argue with you, They're looking for a moment where they can trigger you. And if they've triggered you, if they've got you engaged in an argument, they are loving it. They're eating their dessert. What is it that's saying? They've got their cake and they're eating it and loving it. Imagine that you're a parent and you're going out of your way to trigger your child into an argument with you, And that's why you've got to separate this person from being your parent. Unfortunately, you just have to grieve that parent. And I'll talk about this on another video. But you have to understand this person is trying to get you to lose control of yourself. They are trying to make you confused. They are trying to make you feel like you're going crazy. And what will happen is when you lose your ish and you have a moment and you just can't take it anymore, you can't be the bigger person anymore, and you have that snapping breaking point and you're just like, no, I'm going to argue back and I'm going to say what I want to say. Well, in the moment you do that, they will use all that data and information, because that's what they do. They are data collectors. They are information collectors. They are master manipulators. They are gaslighters on gas. I don't even know if that's a thing, but they are blaming warriors. I don't know. There's so many things. Put some more under in the comments if you can figure out some more things that we can describe these narcissistic people and parents. They are just trying to trigger you at every point. And they want to do this. When I say they're data collectors, they're trying to do this. So when you go crazy and you have that moment of, I just can't take it, and you snap, right? What you're doing is you're giving them a moment where they can use this data and they will use it against you. They may not use it against you then, but it's in their back pocket. And trust me, they will use it against you. They will say, well, I'm not the one that shouts. You shouted. Did you not see yourself the other day? You went crazy. You're uncontrollable, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's not just me that says it, other people feel, and this is what they want. They can use that now. So they're not the crazy one now. You're the crazy one. You're the one that lost yourself. And because you're the sane, logical, reasonable one here that actually has empathy and actually has some self-reflection on your actions, when they say this to you, you're actually like, they're right. I did go a bit crazy. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I was like going overreacting. Maybe, maybe they're right. Maybe people do think I'm like this. And this is what it's called. They gaslight you into believing that those arguments you're having, you're the crazy one. So that's why you can never lose your ish, ever. And I learned this. I learned this the hard way. I learned it. There's many times I got in arguments with my narcissist mother. I just want her to understand. I just want her to understand this behavior is not normal. Why doesn't she understand? Why can't she just understand it? And maybe if I shout, maybe she will understand. No, because that's not me. I naturally do not like to shout. I've naturally always been quite quiet person, even, from a young age. So what they're doing is they're taking you out of your natural state and putting you in a mirroring image of themselves, which is the person you should be trying to run away from. And I know deep down is you are trying to run away from. And we've got to be careful when we engage in arguments with like people like us that are in these narcissistic kind of parents, and because once they get us to a triggering point and out of our emotion and out of control, it's a very weird place you want to be, because it means that they have that control over you. They can control your emotions. They can trigger you. And to give someone that much control over your emotions is never a good thing. I've learned this along the way, that if someone can control your emotion, whether extreme, good or bad, it's never a good thing. It's never a good thing. Someone can have so much control that they can make you so happy and they can make you so angry and they can make you so sad. This is not a good dynamic, we need to be in control of our own emotions. We need to understand who we are. We need to understand, okay, we have to control our emotions here. We're not going to let this person take me out of my emotional state. I'm not giving this much control to this person. Okay, it's very, very important that when you try and argue with a narcissist, you have to, by any means, just hold it. Take a deep breath. Let them say what they want to say, because they will. They'll try every tactic in the book. They will gaslight you. They will try and make you think that what I was arguing about is absolutely mad, and if this is wrong. They'll make you think that you're the crazy one. They'll blame everything on you. It's not my fault. It's not me. Oh no, I didn't say that. No, I never said that. That's the pride. Oh, I used to get that all the time. I never said that. You just said it yesterday. You just said it just now. Yes, you did. And they're so convinced that they never said it as well, because they don't have any self-awareness. They do not have any thought of what they're doing. There's no thought there of their own guilt and actions. They don't have guilt to their actions. They do not care. So you want to really understand this when you're arguing with a narcissist. It's literally arguing with a brick wall. So anytime they try and catch you, you have to understand they are purposely trying to trigger you. This happened to me. My mother would purposely go out of her way to try and find things to have an argument with me. It could be anything. It literally could be like, oh, why did you put the cup over there? I don't usually have the cup over there. Or why did you, it could be anything. It could be anything. Why have you put the clothes there? This is my house. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's your house. That's I unfortunately have to live in, and unfortunately paying most of I'm paying the bills and the food and stuff like this. And this is not a home for me. This is jail. So they will use this is my house, and so they've just got you here, and they're using that to trigger you, to get you out of control. They want you to lose. They want you to almost like become them in a way, whether they realize it or not. They don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to flourish. And a person that is out of control, and a person that is just constantly their emotions going up and down, arguing this and that, getting out of yourself, is not someone that can focus on their freedom. Okay. That is not someone. That's someone that's focusing on the wrong things. That's someone that's spending too much time and energy arguing with a narcissist and a parent that does not care about you. That was me. I spent so much time and energy and effort to try and prove my point, try and justify. It wasn't even to prove my point. It was just to try and, can you not understand my side? No, they can't. They can't. And I wasted so much time arguing when I could have put that, investing in myself. But there is hope. And I know there's people out here right now that are watching this that will understand every single thing that I'm saying. And if you haven't grown up in a narcissistic family household, you probably won't understand this maybe as much, So, some people just like, yeah, it's okay to have normal arguments. Yes, but this is not normal arguments. This is not. This is someone going out of their way to intentionally disrupt your whole energy. And it's so sad to think an actual parent wants to do that. So what do you do? You're in a situation, you're living at home, you may have contact with your parents still, and you see them every now and then, and there's always going to be a point where they're going to try to argue with you. Because you are the sane one. You are not crazy, okay? You are the sane one. I used to think many times, I'm overreacting, I'm going crazy here. No. You are the sane one. So because you now know this, you know you're the sane one, right? You know you're not the narcissistic one, and you're not, okay? So we have to go in this you have to be tactical about this. You do. And even with a parent, you have to be tactical. I got to a point where I used to start even agreeing with her. I didn't argue anymore. I realized after my mistakes of arguing, I realized this is not going anywhere. This is what she wants. This is not going anywhere. It's just making my energy feel out of control. It might happen to you as well. So I realized, okay, arguing was not the way forward. Started learning more about this narcissistic stuff. I figured out, don't argue. What I need to do is I need to minimize my communication as much as possible. I need to understand when this person is trying to trigger me, okay? This person is looking for an argument. And you'll be able to, if you live with a narcissist parent, you have some clues of what kind of things this person may be trying to have an argument about with you. If you feel that, do not, please listen to me when I say this. This is the most important thing I think I can say in this whole video. Do not, by whatever you do not argue back. You will never, ever win. They will win because this is what they want. Never, never, never take the bait. Never. Okay? The moment you argue, you let yourself down. You're not just going to engage and waste your time and energy in arguing with a brick wall, pretty much. With someone that really does not care, who's trying to make you crazy and blame everything on you, and just to kind of make you feel less of yourself, again, in confusion and question yourself. This is what they're trying to do. You're also letting yourself down, because you're letting yourself down. You're letting your emotions go, and it does not benefit you in any way to argue with a narcissistic parent or anything. You have nothing to prove. They do not care. I'm so sorry to say this. The reason why I'm saying it like this is because I need you to understand that they do not care like a normal parent cares. So when you're arguing with them, unfortunately, you are coming from a caring point. You're trying to help them. I know you are. I've been there. They just do not care. So there's no point arguing with them. Just get it out. Just please get that out of your head. Just don't argue. It's not going to get you anywhere. And anything, you're just going to be mirroring their behavior, which is something we are trying to not do here. We're trying to be the furthest thing away from them. We don't want to pick up their habits. We don't want to go into these, pick up the subconscious habits that we have and that have been, try to be programmed into your subconscious mind. Unfortunately, that naturally sometimes would happen when you're living with a narcissistic parent who's been around for so long, So we don't want to mirror that behavior. No, definitely not. You don't want to be the person that you're trying to run away from, okay? Do not become that parent. Do not become that person that you can't stand to be around. So when you engage in an argument, you are literally becoming that person. Why would you argue with someone like that? There's no point. You're not going to get anything from it. So what's the plan for us? What's the plan for you? What are you going to do? What are we going to do? This is what I've learned. You just do not engage in any argument. If you feel it, let it be. Let that person vent. Let that person say whatever they want. Let that person blame you. Let that person gaslight you. Let that person do anything that they feel they need to do to get that off their chest. And this is the only experience I have with a parent. This is my personal experience, okay? So that was the way I dealt with it. Let her say whatever, because I know myself. I know that's not me. And I know this person is not right, okay? This person is not logical. This person doesn't think. This person doesn't care about me. So you have to really understand how to detach. And unfortunately, it's quite difficult because it's a parent, and it's a very weird thing for me to say that you have to try and detach yourself from that person to a parent. Unfortunately, that's just not how a parent does behave. And so you need to detach yourself thinking, oh, this is a loving parent. No, it's not. It may be your mother and your father by birth, but unfortunately, it takes a lot more than just to be a mother and father by birth, okay? And so you need to acknowledge that this person is not on your side, unfortunately. And it's really hard to say. Even to this day, it's like, whew. Guys, I get it. Because you have to grieve for this parent. And I will do a review on this because this has not been easy, Many tears come out of my eyes to have to grieve for a parent that I realized that, I never really had. And so, it's hard to say, just, don't say anything, don't argue. Because you care in a way. You want to try and help them in a way. So don't argue, don't engage. Let them vent, let them throw everything that they can. And this is where you have to be really strong. You have to be strong, especially if you're living with someone who's a narcissistic parent. All you're going to do is when you argue with them, you're just going to make it worse, okay? What you have to do is disarm the narcissist. And the best ways that you can, I found, and I've coached to do that, especially if you're living with someone. If you're living with a narcissist and you're stuck and you're financially stuck and in that moment, and you've got a plan at the moment, you're trying to get out, but you're still there. The worst thing you can do is argue, okay? It's going to make your life hell even more than it already is every day. So don't say anything. Let them say whatever they want. And even I started doing this because it got so bad for me where I just couldn't take it anymore. I started agreeing with her. I started just agreeing with her, even though I know it's completely not true. I just went along with it. Yeah, you're right. It is the government's fault. Yeah, the neighbor, the neighbor did nothing really wrong, but she had issues with the neighbor, had issues with everyone. So, oh, yes, the neighbor. So you've got to be on their side. You've got to kind of sometimes be in their delusion to get your peace and to allow your plan to be executed, to get out of that situation. If you've got a plan and you're living with a narcissistic parent, you're trying to get out, sometimes you have to feed into their delusion, okay? But you've got to be very aware to you're feeding into it, but don't become that delusion. Don't mirror that person. Don't actually become that delusion. You have to separate the two. You have to know that I'm just saying this so I can have my peace and have my plan in the back of my head. That's it, okay? And if you're not living with a narcissistic parent, but you have the occasional contact, which I can guarantee you, most of you probably, if you're still in contact with your narcissistic parent, I can guarantee you when you go back, there'll be some kind of argument, there'll be something that they've done, and you're just like, I need to leave now. This was kind of pointless. I thought it was going to go well, and it never does, and it never will. There's always going to be a problem. And so don't say anything, just leave. Don't have an argument, don't justify anything. Just let them say whatever they want to say and leave, okay? That's the best thing you can do. That's how you win. Because if they can manage to trigger you, they're taking you back. Even if you don't live there anymore and you're still having some occasional contact, you know what they're doing? They're taking you back to a place where maybe at one point they were able to have the power and manipulation to trigger you to get such an emotional reaction out of you. And once you've given them that emotional reaction, they know again, they've won. You're on your journey to heal, right? You want to be that bigger person. You don't need to be that. You don't have to be that narcissistic parent. I don't, and I'm not now. And it takes some time to get there, some self-awareness, analyzing ourselves, okay? And we're not perfect. We're going to have some flaws as well, and we may have picked up some bad habits too. But don't allow them to trigger you. You're not the crazy one. You are not the one that should feel guilty. You're not the one that is triggering them every second to want to have an argument with you. Okay? They are trying to diminish you at every point they can. They're trying to find another angle that they can make you feel confused about yourself, your identity, who you are, what is right, your behavior. That's what they're trying to do. They use manipulation tactics to do this. And especially a parent, because you feel so guilty that you just are trying to do everything you can to try and make them see the light. They will never see the light. They will never see the light how you see the light. Okay? They would never. And sometimes it's just you they've chosen to argue with. Maybe you have siblings that don't get one argument. Unfortunately, there is a dynamic within this that there is a scapegoat in the family. Someone that, has all these amazing qualities in them. A child that they see has greatness and something of an unfulfilled dream that maybe they never got to achieve, and they see that in you. And so they want to take that away from you. They want to project all their regrets in life on you. And maybe there's a sibling that's like the golden child that can do no wrong, and one that's just there, isn't, kind of invisible in the whole situation. And these are actual dynamics in actual narcissistic families. And it's very common that you'll find that one sibling has to engage in the most kind of toxicity from that parent. And if that's you, then you need to be even more resilient. You need to be even more aware of what they're trying to do. They're trying to take everything from you, your identity, your freedom, your self-worth, who you are, what you believe. And if you actually start engaging in all this toxic arguing behavior, it does nothing for you to grow as a person, as your mind, and to get out of that. Because you're focusing so much on going back and forth with someone who's really very kind of delusional in a sense, and illogical with thought, and someone that lacks empathy or has any motive for guilt. There's no guilt there, okay? So it's never going to be, you're never going to get an apology. You're never going to get that. You're never going to get what you think you're going to get by arguing. And I feel for you guys. I get it so much, because that was me. But I realized the moment I stopped arguing. So much peace. in your life. You will get the most peace in your life if you just do not argue with them. Just minimize the arguments. If you feel that they're about to trigger, they feel like they're trying to get an argument, just do whatever they want. If it's the cup that's on there, there's a little bit of, I don't know, whatever, it could be this, or you forgot to close the door, or you moved the car seat this way, or you did something so ridiculous, right? Anything, just so they can blame something on you, right? Or just anything, right? Or they're arguing with themselves all day, they're arguing with the bill people, they're arguing with the neighbor, and you want to say, stop arguing with the neighbor, stop this behavior is not acceptable, blah, blah, blah. No, don't do that. It's just going to cause World War III. You need to go along with it. Let them say what they want, but deep down underneath them, know that you have got a shield, but you have to do this in order to execute your plan, okay? And if you're in contact, okay, you probably don't need to shield yourself as much because you've got a place where you can escape to. You can actually leave. So if you're in minimal contact with that person, and you see them every now and then just whatever. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go, because if you allow them to trigger you, pick one, and you're letting yourself down. If they've triggered you again, and you're arguing again, we've got some more healing to do, because that's not where we're trying to go. I'm not trying to mirror your behavior. That's not what we're trying to become. We're trying to become peaceful people, that don't get triggered, they don't get controlled by someone else, and our emotions are not going to get out of control. So we got some more. We got to go back to the drawing board. I had to go back to the drawing board, but many, many times before I got to this place where I'm so peaceful. Many times, okay. So I get it, okay. And you let yourself down, and you shouldn't have argued, and you're like, what was the point of that? And then because you're just trying to, you're a human being, but just don't do it. It doesn't get you anywhere. And the moment you see them trigger you, so the next time, I wanted to do this actually, with a little task here, but the next time you sense your narcissistic parent triggering you, they want to get you into an argument, they're trying to beat you in, they're trying to get you into an argument, right? So you've noticed it. Please just remember, don't engage in an argument, okay? They are not going to get me out of my emotions. They are not going to control my emotions. So what we need to do, be calm, minimal communication, and just be like, whatever they're arguing about, the traffic, this, don't say you, just say, that was kind of bad, or yeah, you're right, yeah. Just get your peace. Your peace is more important than having an argument with a brick wall, with someone that does not care, with someone that lacks empathy. Your peace is more important. You've spent too much time and energy, the amount of time and years I've wasted just arguing and trying to get my point across. In a way, I've tried different ways, different approaches. This is the only way. You will never win an argument. Don't get into one. Don't engage in one. Don't let yourself down. You're on a healing journey. You're moving forward. You are not going to become the person you're trying to run away from. No, that's not the story. That is not your story. You've come to this video. You are here for a reason, okay? We haven't been through all this to then just become the very person we don't want to be. And we don't even want to project that to other people either. We want to be seen as calm, peaceful people, We don't want to be seen as in fight or flight all the time. We don't want to see it as erratic, people that get our emotions out of control. No. That's not what we're doing here. We haven't been through all this to not learn anything from it, okay? And that's why I want you guys maybe even to start seeing this. That's why I call it the Nana journey, because it is literally my journey of going through this. And it is a journey. But what I've learned in this journey is that sometimes journeys are hard, okay? And sometimes what we can learn from a hard journey is we can get many skills from that. Yeah, resilience is a good skill to a certain point, But we can use even the bad and good skills that we're getting from this, and we can harness it into something really positive, okay? To be resilient, that means, not having to have an argument with someone and let them say what they want to say, and keep going, and keep trying to be positive, and keep going your healing journey, and keep going to be that person. It takes a lot of resilience to do that, okay? And these skills can cross over to many different things that can give you success in life that many other people may not have got if they hadn't been in this environment that we've been in. So we need to start looking at when someone triggers us, okay, this is an exercise for me. This is an exercise for me to take this moment to harness it into something positive for my self-development. I'm going to use this and I'm going to challenge myself, say, no, I'm above this. I'm going to use this trigger. This person is trying to trigger me. I notice it. I'm going to use this for my own benefit. Let me silently do some self-development here, and I'm not going to fall into this trap. Because there may be other areas in life where someone will try and maybe get you into certain situations, and you've dealt with kind of the worst situation, like a narcissistic parent or whatever, and you can now recognize these, but don't use it against people. No, use it in a positive way for self-development. For okay, I'll be calm. This is just another moment for me to show I can be calm in this situation, and that's how you got to see it. Never, ever, please, whatever you take from this, never engage, never argue. You let yourself down, you let your healing journey down, you will just become more confused. You'll become more like that person because you're mirroring their behavior because you think that's going to help. It's not going to. And the reason I can talk so confidently about this because I've been through it. I have been through this. I have argued. I haven't done this all right. I haven't. I've been through so many trials and errors I didn't know what the hell was going on with all this. This has been going more than 10 years. I've done a lot of learning over the last 10 years of my life, learning about this stuff, learning about psychology, learning about human behavior, learning about what the hell is going on here. And I just had to learn as I went along. And, what's the point of me going through this experience and not sharing it with others? Because I do feel not everyone understands it. And this is why I like doing these videos, because when I look at the comments on my other video, it's like, finally, my people are here. The people get me. Like, you guys understand it. And it's like, it's just like there's a lot of us out there that are struggling silently with no one to talk to about this. Because if you talk to someone that's just got a normal parents, they'll think you're like, what? What are you talking about? It just would not register to the deep depth levels that we understand. And we deep down know we can't really voice this to others because it does make us look like really kind of, oh, this is not normal. So we know this, we're not silly. We do understand that this is not normal, but we're also living with it. So it's just like, who the hell do we talk to about this? And that's why it's amazing that we have this. We are a community here now. We are here and we're going to be here for one another. We're not alone here, but we need to share like the tips, the knowledge, like with others here, because there's some of us still living with a narcissistic parent. There's some of us that have got no contact, like me. And I will talk about this in another video because that is a whole video that I need to talk about. There's some of us that are, talking to our narcissistic parents that have got some slight contact. I don't know. Guys, tell me in the comments, are you in no contact? Are you living with a narcissistic parent? Are you on some occasionally contacts? Tell me, can you sense when they're trying to trigger you into an argument? What are the kind of arguments you've had? I've had the pettiest arguments over, it could be this like washing or just leaving something, the slight, like honestly, I've had some actual arguments where it's like, you can't do that. Like trying to explain to us, you cannot just argue with the neighbors like that. You can't just say these outlandish things that are very, offensive to people. So it's like there's different levels of this argument scale. So let me know, like below, guys, like what kind of arguments have you got into? And does this relate to you? I really hope that this, like, what I'm saying kind of relates in a way. I really want you guys to feel, you know, you get it. I know you get it, but like, I hope it just makes sense what I'm saying. But from what I want you to just take from this is just don't let that person take you out of your emotion and put you in an argumentative state, an extreme argumentative state, which completely will defocus you away from the goals and the positive things that you've done. You've got, I bet you, whoever's watching this, you guys have done so much work on yourselves to understand this, to become more positive, to become more of a peaceful person. And, you know, people that have been through this, all we want now is peace. So we do not want to be that person. We do not want to be them. And sometimes we, you know, sometimes it happens because we just want to prove ourselves. It's not about proving yourself. It's just, you're human. This is not, you're trying to explain to this person, no, they can have a normal argument. They can't argue normal. They can't have empathy normal. They have no guilt, nothing. No more arguments. No more. We're not doing it. We're not giving them our energy. They've taken too much of our energy for too long, and we're not doing it anymore. You have to learn. It's a very, very harsh lesson. I had to learn it. They will never be the parent that you want them to be. And you have to detach this person and parent. You have to detach the two. They're not the same. They gave birth to you as a parent, but they didn't develop into the parent that you needed them to be. And unfortunately, we have to grieve that parent, even if they're alive. And it's tough. It is, because you do feel alone. But you also, it's a journey. And there's many positives out of this. And this is why I'm doing these videos, because I know there's more of us out there that need to talk about this, that need to, you know, there could be much older people that have been through this much more than I have, and maybe I can learn some more things. You know, I didn't know everything. You know, I'm learning it all the time, but I've learned a lot, and I've invested a lot of time and you know, to understand this. And so if there's someone younger, you know, there might be people that are 18, 19 in the comments. There might be people my age, might be people older, and there's all different like tips and things and knowledge that we can share and support we can give each other here to help us all on this journey. But at the end of the day, we can become better people, and we will become better people. And there's something in us that they see and saw that is special, and you've got something special in you. And don't let anyone take that away from you, not even a parent, okay? Because there is something special about you. And you need to never allow someone to strip all that light from you. Okay, because at the end, there is light. And it's better if we do it together and help each other see that light. And yeah. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you all. I love the fact how engaged you were in the last video, and I'm so glad it helped so many. Hopefully this will relate to some of you. My story, I'm hoping it relates. And I'm hoping that, you know, we keep growing our community here. You know, if you feel like you can relate to that, and this is kind of like the side that you want to be able to, then please subscribe, because I really appreciate you guys. Because I really do want this as a community for us, you know. And because I can never find something. Like literally, I used to try and find like, there must be someone that talks about this, and there really wasn't. So I'm hoping maybe I can be that person for you guys, and, you know, we can be there together. So if you want to subscribe and be part of this community, then I'd love that. And whatever's going on in your life right now, just please just know there's light at the end of the tunnel, day by day. And you know, just keep being positive, keep being the bigger person, okay? Even though sometimes you don't want to be, just keep doing it, because it will get better, and it will serve you well, really well. Anyway, guys, I really, really thank you. You've made it to the end of this video. Love you all. And we're going to keep making these videos, and I'm going to be going live soon so we can really interact with each other, like in a more real time, and we can be there, we can chill, we can talk about these topics, you know, and it will just be like our community there. It'll be a very safe, you know, nice place for us just to talk about these things. So yeah, anyway, love you all. Comment below, and yeah.